I haven't been making videos. Well, I've been shooting tons of videos, tons of footage. I just haven't been putting videos together. I don't know why there's not an app, and I'm sure, again, I'm sure there is an app. I just haven't bothered to look for it, so that's not fair to say either. What I need is an app that I can take little video clips from my phone and just clip them together. And I've got Adobe Clip, and I've got the GoPro app, and it just doesn't do what I want it to do in an easy manner. I record videos on my phone and I can upload them, but I can't through Instagram just take two separate video clips. And when I stop recording on my phone, I can't resume recording on the same video. So I couldn't take like 10 consecutive pieces of video. What's up, boy cat? I couldn't take 10 consecutive pieces of video and clip them together and just upload them as one. I don't even need the edit. What's up, buddy? Come here. I don't even need the edit. I don't need the music. I don't need the transitions. I don't need any of that shit. I just need to be able to clip videos together. And I'm always like, well, I'll get in bed at 10 tonight and spend a couple hours putting a video together, and that just never happens. So I've been recording a lot. I haven't put a lot together, so maybe I'll put this one together. I made a little couple-minute video this morning, just here on the property, getting started, just about, you know, using your time and how to have more shit. Well, you just work another hour a day or 2 hours, whatever. This old ass razor I'm kneeled down in front of, I didn't come here to show you this. It just happened to be where I was. This was the first razor we ever got, and we learned a lot of things with this razor. We bought the razor I could afford, not the razor I wanted, not the razor I should have got. And I think a lot of people get caught up in that stuff. Well, I'll get this thing. And it was, don't get me wrong, we had a lot of good times in this thing. Cody and Sebastian turned over in this thing a bunch of times, and we learned how to drive these a bunch of times. And this is an 800, and I bought the 800 that had all the cool shit on it that I could afford. I had $6,000. I had $6,000. That's all I could afford to buy a razor. And at the time, razors were $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 for a used razor. The thousands had not come out. So I bought the $6,000 razor. We drove to Kentucky, maybe, bought this thing because it had a bunch of cool bumpers and shit on it, and a cage that went over, and it was neat. It looked like a cool doomsday rig. It was white. And then I wanted it black. So I spent about $1,200 buying black plastic to make the razor black. And then I wanted to add some cool suspension to it and make it a Razor S, basically. But this is a way cool Razor S. So I spent $3 grand on a suspension kit from Dragonfire with, you know, real coilovers and shit. They use those on some trucks. They're valved a little different. I don't mean they make one for a truck. I mean they use these exact same shocks on some trucks. So did that, and then then a buddy of mine twisted the ignition and it set. And then a dude came and took it all apart and was going to fix it and troubleshot it, and then left it sitting here. And for a couple of years it just sat here. And then I met a dude, local dude, and he's hungry and he works all the time. Never have we called that dude. His answer is always yes. I know some other guys like that. That's Jaeger, James. Anytime somebody's been in trouble or needed help, his answer was always yes. Never any questions, never what can I get, what can I have for doing it. Always just yes, act, yes, no matter what, no matter when. Always somebody in need. And that's this dude. His name's Neil. And man, he's been awesome. Anytime one of my employees, anyways, Neil put this thing back together. He took it and it sits here. It's got heated seats. Just the seats in it are crazy. I guess my point to that was not what this video was even turned on for. The point to that is what I should have done, because I bought a 1000 not long afterwards, and it was 20 grand, and it was current technology. It was brand new. Bought it brand new, first owner, off the floor. And then a couple months later they released the 4-seat, so I bought a 4-seat. The crazy thing is, this razor here that this cat's a trip. He wants to be petted, and then you pet him and he doesn't want you to pet him. He's a boy. He loves Amanda. Amanda can pick him up, swing him around by the tail. Anyways, I'll bet I have $25,000 in this razor. and it's $25,000 razor. I've got a set of carbon fiber doors, I've got a set of aluminum doors, but this became the razor we just let employees run. And this kid was running through the trails and the door came open and it busted the door off. Well, you can't just buy that. They don't sell just the pieces. You got to buy a whole fucking set of doors. So another $600 to fix that thing that we let this kid drive, you know, had some fun, broke the car. When somebody breaks your shit, they never offer to fix it though. Just, oops, my bad. So my point is, had I just waited a month or two, instead of buying the thing I could afford right then, had I just worked a little while longer, and I was just buying lots of other things. And I went into this very unknown. Like, I was just gonna buy a razor. We didn't even know that there was 3 or 4 versions of razors. We didn't even know that all razors were 4-wheel drive. And it started out, I wasn't after this. I wanted a Ranger. I just wanted to be able to move firewood around easier and just a force multiplier. And that's what I'm about to do here. I've been planning these, I've been pulling these bricks over here, been getting these pots ready. I'm about to dump a bunch of soil over there in these, but I've got 5 more and I'm out of bricks. I can run to Lowe's and buy some bricks. I can wait till Monday till the brick factory here. What's it called? What's the place that makes bricks and stuff called? Not a brick factory, but you guys get the gist of it. I can wait, or I can just solve the problem and get it done. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get all these rail ties back here and the chainsaw, and I'm gonna cut these things up into, I don't know, whatever these are, 24-inch sections. So that's probably 4 cuts. I think the rail ties are 8 feet. I'm gonna cut them up. Force multiplier. I'm gonna use mechanical advantage. I'm gonna take that excavator with a thumb. I'm gonna pick them suckers up and I'm gonna cut them so I don't have to lift them. And then once they're small, I'm gonna load them on this 4-wheeler that's, I don't know where it is. I guess it's out front now. I'm gonna bring them over here and I'm just gonna get the job done. That's what it's about. How many times have I stopped? I've got boxes and boxes of shit that inside there since all this COVID stuff began, for like raising chickens and stuff. I've got every kind of chicken waterer you can imagine is here on the property. We've tested all of them. Every kind of chicken feeder, just looking for things that make things easier and cut down human time. Because while the task might take 30 seconds, the actual evolution of the job is 10 minutes. You gotta walk out there, change your shoes, put on your dirty shoes, walk up the hill, open the gate, unscrew the waterer, fill the waterer, screw the waterer back on. While the top's off the waterer, it's leaking all over. Well, they make a waterer that you just pull the top off of that doesn't leak. It in itself has some problems. We've tested everything. My point is, I've got 10 boxes inside just sitting there by the front door. I just need to finish them. They just haven't been finished because it's easy to put it off, or I don't have this thing or whatever, when really I could have just finished the task. And I think that's the big difference between guys that really get shit done and guys that talk about getting shit done. And I'm guilty of being a guy that talks about getting shit done. I know people watch the videos, people come here and they're like, man, you get a lot of shit done. I do. But if I just didn't pause and look for the way out, I would have 100 times more things done in the amount of time that it took. You know, in one day, you could do 5 days of work. And that's the big deal when you look at guys that really have a lot of shit, that self-made, right? Not given to, self-made. They just do more shit in the amount of time that we all waste. That's what it really comes down to. So I don't know if I'll even put this video together. I don't know, we'll see. But it's now, I don't even know what time it is. It started at 5 this morning, and I don't know, it's probably 8 now. Have I gotten some shit done? Yeah, not what I should have had done, but I've gotten some shit done around here, and I'll get a lot more done today. Will we put a video together of it? I don't know. If you end up seeing this, leave some comments. Do you guys want to see the video? Is it worth my time? Because I used to spend a lot of time, I should say I used to spend a lot of time videoing things. And to video a 5-minute task, that's about 90 minutes of actual videoing and getting the stuff and making sure everything's in place and doing things more than once to get the right angles on the shot. And that's just shooting the video. That's not even putting the video together. To put the video together like I put a video together in its rawest form, 15-minute video takes me 4 hours at best. That's no music, no nothing. That's just clipping it together. And I'm getting faster. the question is it worth my time to do that? Because I could have so much more done if I used the time that I spend on the computer to do a video that makes no money. Guys are like, but it motivates me, it does this, it does that. A video dude, when we had a video dude here, a video dude's $60,000 to $70,000 for a couple of days of work on the property, a couple of days work off site. So you don't really know what the video dude's doing, a good video guy. That's why I tell kids all the time, especially kids that play video games and computers, I'm like, learn to do video. You're already on that fucking computer. Every answer on how to do the videos is on YouTube. Learn to do videos and you can work from anywhere you want to work. I look at it as like when we went to Gatlinburg. Me and Amanda and Babyhead, we went up to Gatlinburg, had a great time. I always think I want to go back to Gatlinburg and we haven't made it back. But if you were a video dude and somebody Dropboxed you videos or just mailed you a hard drive, or you took a hard drive and went over the weekend and then went up to Gatlinburg, stayed in a cabin, went out hiking, did some zip lining, flew around in some helicopters, had some great giant apple pancakes. For some reason, pancakes are all over Gatlinburg. You could work there, work in the fucking nature with the water running and trout fish a couple times during the week, and you could still make $70,000 uploading YouTube videos for dudes that shoot footage that don't have time to do it. That's why I always tell kids, it's amazing the guys we've had through here that had the potential to do it but had more important shit to do and have gone literally nowhere, but were presented, literally had the opportunity to make literally 3 times more than they've ever made in their life, working a quarter of what they've ever worked in their life, and they're still doing nothing. And I say that it's not one dude, there's like half a dozen of those dudes and another 6 potential of those guys, 12 guys. Talk about wanting to do it but never grasped doing it, never just sat down and did it. Always worried about doing other shit that didn't matter, other shit that nobody watched. Smoking weed, that's the big one. For some reason, guys that are creative and artistic, weed smokers. I know, there's artists, paint way better when they smoke weed, do math way better when they smoke weed, whatever. But all the ones I've encountered, rather than buying the equipment or the software or the hardware or just investing the time, their whole life was spent smoking weed. But I'm young, I'm 20. Motherfucker, that's a quarter of your life gone. Never coming back. Just spend your time, I guess, figure out your priorities. I just wish that my priorities now at 50 were what my priorities were when I was 20 or 30. Just me in hindsight. Every kid at 20 knows more than the dude at 50 always. And I'm not talking about my kid. I'm not talking about any kid. I'm just talking about kids. I'm talking about me as a 20-year-old. I was always going to live forever. Never believed I'd live above 50. Lived how I wanted to live in the moment. And never gave a shit about the 50-year-old me and what I was going to do for the 50 after that. I say that because I'm about to use an excavator to pick up railroad ties to cut them with an electric chainsaw. The old me, I don't need no damn electric chainsaw. That's the stupidest shit I've heard of. I'll just use a gas chainsaw. I just got tired of smelling gas all the time and getting gas all over me and going to use it and the gas is eating out the gas line. I got 10. I have a damn Husqvarna showroom worth of chainsaws. Commercial saws, pro saws, consumer saws. The damn Cobalt electric chainsaw outperforms them, and it just for ease of use, and cuts these rail ties so simply. And you know what the replacement parts on that is? What the replacement part plan is? You take it back to Lowe's, they hand you a whole new saw. That's the plan. They don't fix it. They don't send you parts. They give you another saw. I've got 3 of them. So when I don't have time to take one and swap it out, it's still cheaper than the gas saws. And I'm about to use an excavator to pick that wood up so I don't fucking I just feel that shit. Oh, you're such a pussy, you're gonna do that. I could totally flip those logs. I could flip them end over end all the way down the property and use that as a workout. Or I could use the big ass gym inside and just conserve and prevent injury. You get it? It's just choices. And had I started making those choices early on, I paid enough going to gyms to buy a gym. Does that make sense? There was another, oh, rentals, tractors, right? I paid enough, and I was thinking about that after I made the video this morning, talking about how you will do more work in 2 hours than a laborer that you pay 8 hours to do. Good example of that. Good example. I paid all those dudes all the time to move wood chips. Let's cut, they weren't minimum wage employees, right? Let's say they're minimum wage though. Let's say bare minimum. You're gonna pay, like we used to bring a wood chipper out here and chip with like an 8-inch wood chipper. And we would pay it would take 5 employees. I don't know if you can see it through this. There's a giant burn pile over there. We'd pay 5 employees to stand out there and put those things through the wood chipper. And at the end of the day, you just have a pile about the size of this razor of wood chips. We wanted the wood chips to improve the property. We want them to break down and build soil. This used to be a gravel pit. The money you pay 5 employees minimum wage, you could have bought, in a few uses, you could have bought the wood chipper. We rented the wood chipper. We paid the employees to cut the trees up. We paid them to pick them up, put them in there, right? You could have just bought the equipment or brought in a crew that specializes in doing that. And while that number seems big, it's actually cheaper than paying the minimum wage employees that are only going to work at half speed. That's how everything always is. Because, why is that? Because if there's a minimum wage employee that actually does the work, there's always that one dude on the crew that does half the work. 10 guys, one guy does 80% of the work always. 10% of the people do 80% of the work. 10% of your customers are 80% of your problems. It's that 10-80 number. That always holds true, because an employee that shines, he's no longer a minimum wage employee. He doesn't fit into that. I know you guys are like, well, I'm a laborer and I work like crazy. But you're not what I'm talking about. You're not the 80%. You're in that 10%, right? It's just like renting. We rented tractors. The tractor that I bought, if you bought a tractor, your payments are about $1,000 a month. It costs about $2,000 a month to rent a tractor. We rented tractors for so long here on the property. The company bought 2 more tractors with the money we paid them in rental. I know the owner, like we're friendly, not friends because I haven't spent enough time with them, but good dudes. Definitely didn't take advantage of us. That's just the price, right? And we got a monthly rate on the tractors. It was still cheaper to buy the tractor. If you bought the tractor 0 down, your payments are $1,000 a month. The rental's $2,000 a month, and we always had 2 pieces of equipment here, so that's $4 grand. I should have bought tractors, even with a payment, and rented them out on jobs, leased them out on jobs, hired a guy that can run them, and start a side business doing that. We would have 6 pieces of equipment now instead of 2. It's just how you perceive things. But a lot of us, we always look for the reason not to do it. I don't have this thing. And here I am 18 minutes into this video and have wasted another 18 minutes not doing the manual labor. So I'm gonna go do the manual labor. I don't know what'll become of this video, but if you see it, let me know what you think. Same with this mower. I finished mowing the other night. Said, oh, I'll come back out in a little while. And that thing's been sitting there all week since last weekend. It's not really in the way, it's just not where it should be. So now I'm having the conversation in my head how I'm gonna get this out of here. And I'm literally thinking about just driving around it, when really the proper answer is just move the damn thing. I just didn't want to sit on the wet seat. Wah, right? I don't want to sit on the wet seat. Choke. Hear them goats? Totes. Totes my goats. What's that from? Commercial? I don't even remember what Totes my goats is. Limu emu? I like that. Aflac. We know that, right? The duck. Marketing geniuses. How come your company's not named after a bird? Because Special Operations Equipment says exactly what we do. Eagle Industries. Blackhawk copied everything Eagle did. Even used a bird as the name. Blackhawk. Eagle Industries. History says we should have a bird in the name. What was I going to call it? Rooster? Buzzard? Something that eats dead shit? Hawk and eagle were already taken. Falcon? Pretty sure there's a falcon gear of some kind already. So we just went with the name. Special Operations Equipment. Says what we do, do what you say. Hello. Let's see if these birds move. Yeah, they moved. Right up on the tractor. There we go. Come on, dum-dums. Anybody that runs an excavator, how come my cab is straight with the blade, but my arm is kicked 15-20 degrees to the side? And when I make that even, the cab is not even. Anybody know why? I don't know why. Maybe there's some way to move it and I don't know. First world problems. The $80,000 piece of equipment I'm using is a little crooked. I don't know how much this tractor costs, but this is the next piece that we're buying. These scenarios out in my head. Really, I should put the bucket down, the blade down right. What if this took off by itself, smashed the truck and drove through the building? This piece of equipment is totally capable of it. I always play that in my head, yet I never put the bucket down and turn the machine off. Dogs, one's a Pyrenees, the other one has some, they're both Pyrenees Anatolian. We were told they're the same litter, but I don't know. The one laying in the hole up there on the hill, that's more Anatolian. They sit up high and watch over. Leftover remnants from the duck shit water. You can smell it from here. Sure I was going to be able to thread it through there. Check this out. Here's that bird that follows me around every time I come in. I call him scissor beak because his beak's a little crooked. You can pick it up, super friendly. There's 5 of those Rhode Island Reds. We got them from a guy, his daughter raised them for 4-H, so they're very, very friendly. I'm sure they were pets for a while. Here comes the other 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the birds could be down here, but these 4 They're friends still. They all hang out together. Now here comes the dogs. I wasn't calling them, I was calling the birds, but got the dogs. Boy, hello. 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 Should have sprayed that bucket off. Any place you have dirt or mud from anywhere here, as you drive through the gravel, every piece that breaks off will have seeds, and it all grows very, very well. After, but that'll work. I'm gonna go measure these bricks just to make sure. I want them all uniform.